Yeah, hello, good morning. My name is Michael Zimmermann. I have the pleasure to present to you today our laboratory test and the aim of the eQualis laboratory, which we take in place, Agence eSanté. The aim of the eQualis test lab is to create a laboratory type environment for testing and compliance check. You saw that from the presentations before, we have a lot of new technologies and a lot of interfaces which you will be connected to, which you will need to integrate, which you need to use for connect with our eSanté platform. And for that, we did so far already. Most of you have already passed this labelization procedure for Attestation de Conformité and for the GSP. And based on that, we now enlarge the scope related to the testing and labelization for the new services, but as well another topic, because it was strongly linked so far. It was strongly linked so far to the topic of the interoperability, the connectivity with the eSanté platform, but in eQualis, the additional point is about security and the information security of the system, which is as well a part of the attestation. For that, within the work which we've done so far at eQualis, we created a governance scheme, and within this governance scheme, in difference to the position we had before, where we were mainly the scheme holder, as well the testing laboratory, as well the instance who was emitting the label after a successful test. With eQualis, we aim to be able to, even for others, to just stick on different topics, in particular, for example, outsourcing the testing part, or just be in charge of creating the assessment scheme, or performing afterwards the audit or the conformance assessment. This is a bit highlighted within this slide. So it's on one hand, the coordination of the testing conformity assessments. About certification, just to clarify, at the current moment, so at this time, the certifications only be possible by the support of external experts, as we are not yet certified with certification. So our level is still conformity assessment and the labelization. Another topic, as I said, within the scheme, we aim to work on different elements within the governance structure. So another part is the test plan definition, the test execution, the evaluation and reporting, and the definition of that, the definition of evaluation schemes for the preparation, for the labelization, for the certification of compliance. And this is linked to, as I said before, the topic of interoperability, but as well the topic of the security, information security. The activities we have done so far, we started last year with as well a project Cesar with the security made in Luxembourg. I will explain it in the next slide a bit more. What we've done so far, we developed the governance scheme for the test laboratory assessment scheme. So this is a template for producing conformity assessment schemes. Then we did concretely perform tests, test plans reporting for the results of the administrative service, so the administrative connectivity with eSanté platform services, but as well for the mobile applications, which we're using the authentication mechanisms provided by Agence eSanté. And on the other hand, we did a project called Cesar, which is a cybersecurity assessment and reporting in healthcare. We were working together in under memorandum of understanding with Security Media Luxembourg. And the aim of this project is to raise the awareness and to help to improve the level of cybersecurity for the professionals. So within the cabinet, but as well in the process of the development for the software vendors. So this is why we were following two streams. We defined these two workflows. One was related to the vendors and IT service providers, and the second one was dedicated to the health professionals. So what we did with both parties, we started to create a questionnaire, and then we invited volunteers for online interviews. At that time, COVID, we did everything online. So we performed these online interviews. After that, we did an analysis of the outcomes and an outcome reporting. And by that, for the vendors, we started to prepare recommendations. The goal out of that was, one goal was, okay, from the information gained during these interviews, we want to analyze, but we want to give something back. We want to provide recommendations for the software vendors and IT integrators. And this has been established. I will show that in the next slide. And for the professionals, we will, after the online interviews, we were preparing an online self-assessment. This online self-assessment tool is now finished and will be provided in July, public. And later on, this tool allows us to do an analysis and reporting from the data which we gained with that. And a follow-up idea is then to further improve the recommendations. So one deliverable which has been created is a booklet and then in PDF form translated in French and English for software vendors and IT integrators, containing on the top level main chapters, 7 chapters about information security. This is accomplished as well by a website which is containing more details. So the booklet contains the highlights, but on the website it contains much more detailed information. And the main topics which are covered within these recommendations are about encryption, updated patch management, the remote access. You do remote access, you do remote maintenance with the customers, the personal data protection when you are in charge of working for the customer, incident management, risk management, and some coding principles and for secure development, which you should take into account. So, as I said, this is the first step. These are recommendations. This is something which is given back by the project to the vendors and IT integrators. And the website, which is related, will show more current information. So it's more worth looking at the website to gain the latest information, as we will update and maintain this regularly. The second deliverable, which is meant for the healthcare professionals mainly, and it is an online self-assessment tool available in 3 languages. The assessment itself is done anonymous and as an outcome as well for the health professionals provides recommendations. So what has been done is this online assessment has been created. The health professional can walk through it. It contains questions, topics related to the rules applied within the office. How about the contracts which you have? Does those contracts with the IT or service provider, for example, contain relevant clauses about information security. What about the status of the antivirus? How do you deal with passwords inside? What about backup handling and remote work maintenance, and or bring your own device policy? So after filling out this survey, this online assessment, the professional will be presented scoring and then presumably with recommendations. So as well, there's as well a benefit in that sense. You can use these recommendations and apply them if possible. And until a certain threshold is reached, the threshold is currently 75 points from 100, you can further demand and request for doing a further assessment. So as this assessment is, this self-assessment is anonymous, he's then motivated to contact us to enter into this process, because we don't know at that time when the survey has been done his scoring. The work plan for the next 2 years is about the test plan definition. As I said before, conformity assessment and labelization. These are mainly about the new services, the services which have been introduced to you this morning, for the extension of the current labelization framework. The execution of the test plan and conformity assessment, yes, with you, with the vendors. And within the CESAR project, phase 2, which is important for you, is the point that after the analysis, after the analysis and reporting of the fit for health outcome of the assessment, we will approve the guidelines and recommendations. It is planned to do webinars as well. I planned 2 webinars for this year with the professionals, and we are working on the development of conformity assessments team for information security for the vendors. So which means for you, for software vendors and IT service providers, based on the questionnaire which we done, based on now the guidelines and recommendations which have been given, it will be in the first step initial self-assessment, which helps you to raise the awareness, to check yourself within your organization, which measures need to be taken to reach a level of a good level of the conformity. It's not at that step, it's really a self-assessment. It's not an assessment on site, which may be planned and is foreseen in further steps. And then on our side, the internal improvement on the supporting tools for supporting our work in terms of testing for scheme definition, and as well for the validation and our preparation to the ISO certification 17025. And finally, the aim is really to support and raise the awareness for the actors in the healthcare domain on interoperability and security. It's not to punish you, it's not to put additional pressure or burden. Instead, it's really to support, as we are in an early stage, and we need to prepare for the new challenges which will come, which is the e-health data, European data space, and the Cybersecurity Act, which will really have an impact, especially the first one, which contains parts of the Cybersecurity Act as well, will have an impact on you as well. So on the vendors, on the interoperability, on the security, which you apply with your applications. So this is what we want to help you to prepare for. Thank you very much.